This message goes out to young people that are out there.
Yeah.
You could just be hanging out with people in that life. You could be making a joke about something. You're not even doing anything. You're not selling drugs. You're not killing people. You're not robbing. You're not doing shit. You're just hanging out with them, or maybe you're just even related to them. And you could go down and do
100%.
time for something
I can tell
that's...
you what they're doing now, Beck, is they're bringing in Latin Kings, Batials, which is the Dominican gang, Bloods, Crips, because they have no more Italians to lock up. So they're using the RICO case against gangs. So now that there's no more, the gangs don't go to Rikers Island anymore and do state time. The feds pick them up. So I'm with this young kid, black kid, nice kid. He was working for the Dominicans, and he liked Jordan sneakers. So he would go on the corner, make $300 for the day, and go home twice a week. So he had a little pocket money, and he was able to buy the new Jordans that came out every week. This kid gets a 10-year mandatory minimum for selling hand-to-hand. This is what they're doing. So anybody that wants to know, just go online. They got Parents Against Mandatory Minimums, meaning like you sold one piece of crack in that organization, you're going to get wrapped up with them, and you're going to get 10-year mandatory minimum. That's what that comes down to. And you don't want to play around with the feds. It's no more you go to the state, you do a bullet on Rikers Island, or you get a year and a day, you go up, get a number, come back down on work release. That's it. They're locking up gangs. They're locking up crews. Because there's no more organized crime to lock up. I mean, they still have it, but now they're using that RICO. These guys come into the feds, they don't even know where RICO is. But they're like, I sold crack for 3 months. Why am I getting 10 years? And that's how it is. They did a direct sale a certain amount of time to an undercover cop, and now the kid's getting 10 years and you don't have a dollar to his name. And that's what they're doing.
It's a little excessive, especially for those little guys. And it's fucked up.
And I've seen guys copping out 5 to 40s for heroin. Guys that want to corner selling heroin. You know, there's 5 to 40s in the feds, meaning you go in front of the judge and you take a plea. You say, I'll take 5 to 40. Now, in the feds, it's not up to the prosecutor. You can make a deal with them behind closed doors, and that's the time you get in the state. In the feds, you could ask the prosecutor, and the prosecutor can recommend something to the judge, but it's up to the judge. So now you go in there, and the guy popped out to a 5 to 40 thinking maybe he'll get 10. The judge gave him 20. Prosecution actually put in for 10, the AUSA, and the judge gave him 20. It's like what's going on now. Guys that beat, guys like Little Dino from the Columbus, guys like Mikey White and again, they beat their cases on the murder charge. They beat them. Spent all this money on lawyers, not guilty, very hard to do in the feds. They got a 90. And what does the judge do? Gives them 30 years for RICO, meaning the bookmaking, the hanging around, the conspiracies. They got 30 years, and they beat their biggest charges because the judge can do whatever he wants. So you can't play around. The AUSA might recommend 5 years, and the judge might say, listen, I think this guy's a menace. He's getting 30. I don't care if he just spent $1 million on lawyers and beat 2 murder charges. I'm giving him 30 because that's what the law says I can give it to him because of the RICO Act. So any of these young kids can just walk into a federal courtroom or go and read the public knowledge of the Information Act and see what people are getting for sitting on the corner selling crack these days. It's not no more state charges. If you're part of the Bloods, the Crips, the Batials, the folks, and all these other gangs, the feds are taking you now because they need cases. They need to be locking people up. They have their own gang units now. They have their own people that know about that stuff. And like I said, when I went in, I couldn't believe it. I thought I was going to see. No, I did. I mean, I would have met a lot of guys from Massachusetts, a lot of, Genovese guys, these guys, Lucchese's. But there was Bloods, there was Batials, there was Kings. And I'm like, why are all these gangs here? And I found out guys on the corners getting 10 years. The big homie who runs the crew's getting kingpin status, 20 to 30 years without committing a violent act.